into our first quarter final of the day. 4 best of 7s coming your way. German Amigos taking on Team Liquid.
The long hibernation is finally over, and Rocket League is back on the table. The Winter Open is finally here, Turtle, and I don't know if you agree with me, but I think we almost missed it as much as the fans did.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you had been paying attention in the offseason, everybody was going crazy. Nobody knew what to do. Nobody knew what Rocket League to watch because there was none. And now we are finally back. The RLCS has returned, and we got a crazy day 1 group stage. And now we're continuing on with the rampage of this first European regional. We're going to kick things off with Team Liquid up against German Amigos. Subi, who do you got taking it?
This is a tough one to call. German Amigos, one of those question marks coming in. Last season, they played under the banner of Evil Geniuses, and they were hot and cold. Whereas Team Liquid, they kind of seem to just ramp things up after the hot spring split coming in from the 2022 season. So for me, if you're asking, I just think Team Liquid has the upper hand, but you can't count out German Amigos, that's for sure.
Yeah, for me, I'm just wondering what kind of transitions we're going to get out of German Amigos. I expect to see a lot of Team Liquid offense and mostly a one-sided matchup when it comes to possession. Now, I don't think that means Team Liquid are guaranteed to win. However, I do think we're going to see a more defensive German Amigos because of Team Liquid's speed and what they're able to bring to the table when it comes to passing that midfield line. And look at this, for example, you've seen Oski, high-flying action so far, but a big clear, and it's going to be transitions like this that German Amigos need, and being efficient with these transitions is key. Look at this bump, look at the demo, and look at the goal from German Amigos.
You called it, just weather the storm, and Team Liquid got a little too aggressive, and here comes German Amigos to capitalize. Catalysm getting the goal there. And it's off of that nice bump on the goal line to open things up. But I agree with you, Turtle. I think this is just going to be heavy offense from Team Liquid, and it's all about German Amigos to see if they can capitalize on little mistakes that Team Liquid seems to have.
Absolutely, and I do think German Amigos had a relatively difficult group stage in comparison to Liquid. Not saying that or trying to belittle the record that Liquid have coming into this matchup, but I do think German Amigos, I mean, they had to take a dub over BDS, over Guild, and then their only loss was against Oxygen. So I think that German Amigos, they're prepared. They've had a lot of high-powered offense to deal with, so they are all warmed up for this series.
Yeah, you see them all just very content to sit in the box and wait for those shots to come as Tox gets the much-needed touch. Awkward one at that off the backboard, and Ivan looking for a clear, can't quite find it. A toe passes, but gets that second touch, throws Oski off, and thankfully Oski gets the touch there to slow things down. But the demos come out, Tox gets the save, and Acronic gets the boost deal. It just seems like a never-ending offense for Team Liquid.
Some retaliation out of Team Liquid. There was a lot of bumps, a lot of demos. I mean, the first goal was from a bump play out of German Amigos, and they also were getting a couple of physical plays in the past 30 seconds, but Team Liquid, a good response with a couple of demos of their own, and things have stabilized in the midfield. Good transition downfield from German Amigos, but nothing quite yet to yield from it. Still the first goal in favor of German Amigos as they look to get out of defense, but it's back the other way. Oski up high, can't find the angle. And here comes a big clear for German Amigos.
Yeah, speed, definitely the advantage for Team Liquid right now, but when you look on the other side of the pitch, gotta wonder if poise is gonna be a factor here. So far, look unrattled, even though they've already faced 10 Team Liquid shots, but haven't let any slip through that goal line. As Tox coming through, just trying to slow things down, keep Team Liquid at bay, and a good infield pass. Ivan can't quite bait out a toe, and Oski does get that boost, gonna bomb it back downfield, but they need to get to work. They've been able to get the shots on target, but haven't been able to pull out German Amigos just quite yet.
Yeah, but I definitely think they're building that foundation. I have noticed a lot of midfield boost steals from Team Liquid, so that is definitely going to help whenever you're transitioning. We look to see who will take the midfield boost. This time it's going to be Tox, and they're trying to set up camp in the half of Team Liquid and waste as much time off the clock. 1 minute and 16 to go, but Team Liquid slowly knocking on that door.
And we just saw it was a slight double commit. So that's what it's going to take for Team Liquid to find success on the offensive half. Chronic can't find the double tap there as Tox pushes it into the corner. And it's these slow clears that's really hurting German Amigos. They need to get those bombs downfield as a Chronic can't quite get the shot on target. Just narrowly denied there as the angle was a little too tight, and less than 1 minute to go here, Turtle. Yep. Team Liquid, the offense has been there. It's just been better defense from German Amigos.
Yeah, here we go. You talked about it, poise, and the composure for German Amigos has, without a doubt, been on another level. I've seen Tox go for a slow clear every once in a while, which, like you said, sometimes it's plaguing them, but in other instances, it can actually benefit them, wasting more time, slowing this ball down, looking for a 50-50. That one almost slipped past the final defender. Team Liquid, more mechanics are being brought out, but is it enough with 15 seconds on the clock? You've got to make one count, and you're only going to get a couple more chances.
Less than 10 to go. Team Liquid knocking at the door. Ivan needed to get the big clear, can't find it. And Tox gonna push it all the way downfield. Team Liquid has to reset at midfield. The ball's still in the air, but Oski searching for bombs, can't quite find anyone. And Catalysm pushes it all the way back towards midfield. And just like that, German Amigos gonna steal game number 1.
Wow. I'm so impressed with this defense. Out of all 3 of these orange players, Ivan, Tox, Catalysm, putting in work. It was 6 saves to Tox's name, and that's 12 saves in total, which is absolutely ridiculous. 17 shots for Liquid against the 3 shots of German Amigos, and that is what I expected. One-sided offense for Team Liquid, but German Amigos, they looked comfortable the whole time, Subi. There wasn't too much pressure applied to their goal line. Maybe 1 or 2 moments where they had to get that last-second save, but that was it.
Yeah, not many times are you going to hear either of us say they looked comfortable on defense when they were looking at 17 shots.
17 shots.
Somehow German Amigos did just that. They were able to keep their poise, keep the respect for Team Liquid, but also able to capitalize on the small mistake that Team Liquid put forward, where they just pushed forward into that orange half a little too far. A bump opened things up, and that's all she wrote in game number 1. And as we head into game number 2, Forbidden Temple, oh, how we've missed you. We've swapped it out for Aquadome, and let's go underway.
Gotta love Forbidden Temple, and if you're a fan of Team Liquid, you want to see them adapt. In this game, a Chronic almost adapting within the first 10 seconds and was narrowly missing that chance to get the first goal for his team. Still scoreless, his Team Liquid, but a good start for them, a very speedy start, which is still to be expected. And you wonder, will they get too desperate? Do they start overcommitting, overextending, trying to put every shot away? They need to be patient, but of course, keep utilizing the creativity that they have at hand.
Well, that's kind of been their Achilles heel throughout the entirety that they've been in the RLCS. We've always known them to be a fast team, a mechanical team, but it's the little mistakes that have plagued them. And once they kind of polish everything out, that's when they're going to be a formidable opponent. Like we saw at the Fall Major, they got all the way to the quarterfinals, took the eventual major winners, Gen G, to a game number 7. But once they start buttoning things up and ironing it out, that's when they're going to be extremely dangerous all the time. But a team like this is one you have to be wary of, as Ivan looking for the pass, and this bomb all the way downfield. Great pump by a toe, getting Catalysm out of there, and we remain scoreless.
Yeah, now we're starting to see Team Liquid improvise, potentially look for more bumps. A Chronic has to get the tweet off the backboard. He does find it. And Oski, taking so much boost, finds his corner. Let's see how they decide to transition out. There haven't been too many struggles with the clears, and as you sneak this ball past the final defender, it's going to be an open net for Team Liquid.
Great carry through the defender here as Tato gets the easy pass out and puts Team Liquid up by 1, and that's what they need here. Minute and a half into game number 2, get that goal. A little bit of cushion to feel comfortable, because we know that they can keep the pressure. We know they can box German Amigos in their own half.
Oh, and this is an interesting play here. Ato traded blows here with the defender. I'm not sure exactly who it was in the corner, as that was, I believe it was Ivan who got taken out as well. And I'm not sure if he would have found the rotation, but regardless, 2 quick goals for Team Liquid. Early to strike now, and they have stopped the bleeding of game number 1 and gotten on the scoreboard in game number 2.
Stretching the lead out here in game number 2 is Team Liquid, as Catalysm looking to get the offense started. So far, 2 minutes of gameplay almost have elapsed, and no shots on the board for German Amigos. And just as I say that, Talk's able to tuck one in. And I'm not sure what the defender was thinking here as this shot was coming out of the corner.
Yeah, this is crucial out of German Amigos to get a touch early on in that corner, and then the follow-up from Tox. It was a tight angle, but he found it. And an immediate response from German Amigos. You feel for the defender of Team Liquid where you need to get a better hit. That corner is so deadly for these teams, and defenses might not be always in the proper spot, and Team Liquid certainly weren't prepared for that bounce, but a good response, like I said, for German Amigos to get back into this game quickly.
And with that goal, that's Tox's 50th goal of the season. He has been the key offensive maker here in the Winter Open for German Amigos. 15 so far throughout 2 days, and mind you, today hasn't really been a full day for him as Ato baits out one defender, gets it over, but Catalysm there in the rotation, playing third man extremely well. And the offense starting to get going once again for Team Liquid. It's like a fine-tuned machine. Ato can't get by two, but pulls one out. The rotation's a little spread out and a little slow for Team Liquid.
The main thing for German Amigos is taking away as much of this fuel that you're given to Team Liquid as possible. Maintaining the midfield boost. Here comes Tox though on a solo dribble. Past the Chronic. This man could do it all by himself.
Oh, look at the scoop to get this ball on top of his hood right here so he can get the flick over a Chronic. Just nasty 1v1 skills on display to tie us up in game number 2.
Subi, he barely had any boost. It looked like he had about 30 to 35 boosts when he started that dribble. He managed to get it behind and under the first defender. And then, like you said, the perfect touch to get that ball on top of his car. And he used every single boost in the tank. Made it worth his while. And we've got German Amigos all tied up. That's how you get it done.
Exactly 1 minute apart between both of those goals for German Amigos. Didn't take him long to strike, and that's a great passing play, but well read by Tox as he gets the Savior medal on that shot as Oski rotating through as Ato, but Catalysm just popping that one up. And where's the defense to challenge Tox? He didn't have the boost to follow through with that shot, but Team Liquid, the midfield pressure starting to look suspect.
Yeah, and that's directly after getting scored on. It looks like the confidence from Liquid has dwindled down. Nobody infiltrating the midfield as much. Maybe they're too cautious about getting counterattacked, which has been so effective. I mean, think back to the first game for German Amigos. That initial goal was off of one counterattack and a quick bump. They start in their own half, and then one shot is all they need to punish Team Liquid, who love to overextend, Subi.
Right, that's brilliant. Turtle, I hadn't even thought of that. And you also brought up in game number 1 how strong Team Liquid were at midfield control, stealing those boost pads. And here in game number 2, just looks like it's been nullified, and that's kind of handed German Amigos a little more speed in their bag. Is a Chronic. Third man gets the much needed touch. Ivan tried to dump that one off, not on the same page as Catalysm, and Ato keeping things alive. 20 seconds remain here. Team Liquid again knocking at the door of German Amigos.
This is going to be much more difficult for Team Liquid, Subi, because if they're not going for more of a midfield presence, that means they're going to rely more on solo plays with just one player sent downfield while the rest are rotating back to be a bit more cautious. But we approach the final few seconds, the ball floating in front of the net of German Amigos. It will touch the ground and send us right to overtime.
Our first overtime of the day happening on Forbidden Temple as a Chronic pushes that ball through. Can't quite get it through Ivan and Catalysm as they're trying to get this ball out of their own half. Great touch there from Ato, and again, starting to look like Team Liquid starting to get a little bit of a stranglehold over midfield as Oski coming through, looking for the double. Can't find it as Tox playing great defense up on that backboard.
Oh, and Oski actually stole that corner boost, so this could lead to more pressure. And you'll notice nobody's ready to challenge against Team Liquid. There's barely any boost to go around for German Amigos. A Chronic is also taking a midfield boost. This is the best look Team Liquid are going to get potentially in this overtime. You think they got to score, but the defense of German Amigos just somehow pulls on tight.
It's like what I always say, but we're going to wait for that as the Devils coming through from Ato. Oski capitalizing on that one and gets a big one to end game 2.
Ato cuts across with his rotation. He actually almost saved the ball too, but Thankfully for Team Liquid, he wasn't in the way of the shot, and he cleared the path for his teammate, allowing Team Liquid to get their first game and battle back in the series.
Man, those demos, so fun to watch. You love to see the explosions happening, especially when they're calculated like that. Big brain plays from Team Liquid in game number 2 to carry them through, but German Amigos kept swinging back. For every single punch Team Liquid was throwing at them, they seemed to have a counter.
Yeah, and I definitely think that German Amigos are always going to be in this game. Like, you can't count them out. No matter what level of offense, no matter how much pressure you see from Team Liquid, German Amigos are so efficient with converting these opportunities. They get 1, maybe 2 shots on the other side, and they're going to put it away. You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. So German Amigos, don't count them out yet, but Team Liquid, great response, getting creative, not only relying on solo plays, they got physical, and that's what won them game number 2.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the recipe to success for Team Liquid is all of the things that we've been mentioning that they've been doing well, but combining them all to make a nice little meal for themselves. We've seen great midfield control. We've seen boost steals. We've seen demos. Now if they can just kind of bundle them all together, they are going to be deadly.
And Ivan has had a bit of a slower game as well, and I think the points represented that at the end of game number 2. He was sitting at about 84 points, and that was a couple hundred behind his next few teammates. And while points don't represent everything, I definitely think Ivan hasn't been as involved for German Amigos in game number 2. And here he is alone. He got bumped and maintained his position on the backboard. That's the Ivan we know and love. And he's coming through with an immaculate save to start out game number 3.
Big push there downfield by German Amigos. Immediately turned away from Team Liquid. The rotations are on point. The spacing is there. And great read there by Ato to take that away from Tox. The passing play was trying to be developed. As Oski can't find that, or he did get the touch. Passes it in field. It was soft and light and barely changed his trajectory. Threw the defense off, and that's why you're seeing some sustained offense right now. But for German Amigos, they just need to try and play a little bit quicker. Try and match the speed for Team Liquid. They're not going to do so exactly, but you can just quite get there to make these challenges a little more efficient, rather.
And it's going to be more hard and much more difficult, Subi, whenever you don't have the boost. I mean, this midfield presence from Team Liquid has definitely regenerated coming into Game 3. I'm sure they're feeling a lot more confident after taking a game themselves in this series. But German Amigos, they certainly do have the speed to match it, and you don't always have to go for a challenge trying to win that 50-50. Just anything to get a touch on the ball, to throw off Team Liquid, ruin their possession just for a second. That can give your teammates enough time to get back. But a Chronic, here's another solo play. This man just can't stop going for these air dribbles on the net of German Amigos.
Noski coming in, keeping the offense alive for Team Liquid. And again, it has just been Team Liquid getting all of the offense so far. 6 shots to German Amigos.
But look at this. Look at this.
As I say that, they get a shot on goal that turns into a goal.
Stubby, it's an illusion. German Amigos, they might look like they're defeated. It might look like Team Liquid are surely going to score. But through all this defense, through all of the boost starvation, the pressure, it's all coming down on them. One clear, one transition downfield. You catch Team Liquid in that trap of overextending, and you've got the first goal.
German Amigos doing their best at really hypnotizing Team Liquid, just pulling them in to the orange half, making them feel more than comfortable, saying, yep, you're winning this, you're getting aggressive, you're getting the shots, and it's not working out as a Chronic can't push that one through. Almost had the 50 to get it on net. And Turtle, this has just been a masterclass of defense so far from German Amigos.
Well, and it's also the biggest test to Team Liquid's mentality. This is a frustrating game. When you're a pro player, Subi, the most frustrating games to play are the ones where you know you have the pressure, but you can't punish. You can't put away these shots where you're given opportunities. It's ridiculous. This goal is just hanging just barely out of reach for all Team Liquid, and they can't seem to grasp it. But this ball, a big clear down the other side. Maybe we get one from Oski. So much space in the air, barely any boost. Ato needs to find a shot, but again, denied defense from German Amigos, not letting up.
Yeah, Turtle, I think you're exactly right. It's just one of those things where you're playing and saying, what else do we have to do to find success? As Tox can't quite get there. Ivan was looking for the demo, ends up getting demoed for his efforts instead. And right now, you got to expect Team Liquid to show some frustration. What do they got to do here, Turtle? 14 shots on target, but it has just been a brick wall for German Amigos.
Well, if you look at the history for what won them the previous game, it was the demos, the physical gameplay. Yes, they were taking boosts. Yes, they had possession, but at the end of the day, it was the timing of when they went for demos and having well-executed plays that are much more prepared moving forward. I mean, you can't just send a Chronic alone every single time. You've got to have multiple layers to this approach. One person going for demos, one for a solo play. How is that third man then getting involved? There's a lot of different moving factors, and Team Liquid can't put all the pieces together against this German Amigos defense.
35 seconds remain here in game number 3. Team Liquid still searching for their first scratch and completely denied by German Amigos. German Amigos looking for their second shutout of the series, but 20 seconds to go here, Turtle. Team Liquid once again knocking at the door of German Amigos, finding shots. They're on the right side of the field, but it is just completely bottled up in the net. Less than 10 to go. Tox can't quite find the touch. Ivan keeps it alive, and here comes a toe. He needs a big challenge. He gets just that, but no one there to follow up. And German Amigos put Team Liquid on match point.
I mean, this is ridiculous. You talked about Team Liquid finding shots, and that was an understatement, Subi. Team Liquid, 14 shots up against German Amigos, 3 shots. What on earth is going on here, Subi? This is ridiculous. Team Liquid, despite having all the pressure, despite having all the possession, these shots not quality enough to get through the defense.
And my apologies, I misspoke. I said match point. We're only getting into game 5.
Yeah,
what
we
are
got
we
a long
thinking
series,
here?
all right?
It's a best of 7.
Are you trying to end this early? Is that what you're secretly saying, Subi? You want this to be a best of 5? You want to get out of here? What are you saying here, Subi?
Turtle, you know how much I love you. You know how much I want to hang out with you.
Good.
If I don't recall, hold on. Wait. Let's bring some personal stuff into this. Who bailed on who during our vacation? Anyway, we'll get to that another time. I love you. I would never, ever want to leave you earlier than I have to.
Bro's bringing up vacation. I actually can't believe what I'm hearing right now. And I also can't believe what I'm seeing from Team Liquid. They've got all these opportunities, Subi. What worked previously was the demos. What is the answer? What is the change that they need to implement? Because right now, my brain, I don't think I'm smart enough to figure this out currently. This is too much of a puzzle right now, and we're going to have to see how it comes together. Is it Chronic? More solo plays, better shots off the crossbar, still not enough.
Way. Right place, right time for Catalysm. And for Team Liquid, the only thing I can think of, Turtle, the only thing that they aren't doing right, other than hitting shots, because they're really not there, is the demos. They've got to do something to disrupt this defense because German Amigos are so comfortable on that back line. Right now, they're sitting at second in all of Europe for save percentages at 65%. And if you're Team Liquid, yeah, you're getting the shots on target, but German Amigos has shown time and time again that if you're going to put a shot on net, more than likely, they're going to save it. So you have to do something to change that.
Yeah. And even if you're starving out German Amigos with the boost, that has not been enough to force them out of a position where they can get a save. Here comes Tox, dribbled down the other side. Let's see how this game unfolds. Again, this is a best of 7, a long series, plenty of time for both teams to adapt and change their play styles. And for Team Liquid, the ball is in their court. They need to be the ones to make a shift.
Yeah, and Turtle, again, you've complimented them on a lot of things, but the one thing that isn't there is the shooting percentage. And right now, they really need to just dial in Oski's number. He has been the bread and butter for this offense, but the bump comes in on the back line to get a toe out of the picture, and Tox has a wide open net to shoot at.
And Tox has been the bread and butter for the offense of German Amigos. There was a lot of chaos inflicted downfield right behind the defender. First goal in favor of German Amigos. The orange team continues to prevail. Now, Team Liquid, more shots their way and more saves for German Amigos.
Jeez. bad news for Team Liquid is they've yet to win a game when German Amigos scores first. And these teams do have a lot of history between them. And when you look at it, it heavily favors Team Liquid, as German Amigos have only won one. What a save on the goal line. And again from Acronic holding down that back line. But German Amigos looking to change history, put another win against Team Liquid, and bring that series even closer between these two teams.
I genuinely do think that the group stage was perfect preparation for German Amigos coming out of here. I mean, especially up against Oxygen, such a offensively minded team. They know how to handle as much pressure as possible. They've had great warm-ups yesterday in their group stage, and coming up against Team Liquid, they know exactly how they need to play, and they are executing flawlessly. Here's Oski from his own corner. Slow little transition out of Team Liquid. They're playing more defense, which actually might bode well for Team Liquid if they can focus more on the transitions and working together as a team instead of being one-dimensional. I mean, this is just Oski pushing himself downfield alone. There's nobody to back him up, and even when that second challenge does come through, he's not even touching the ball. Team Liquid, they've got to get things together.
Yeah, I agree, Turtle. I think you try and almost let German Amigos on offense a little bit more, so that way you can counterattack, because you've shown that you can't score on them when they have 3 players in the net. So try and do it if you have a man advantage. They've only got 2 back, got 1 back. They're rotating back. Something to change things up. But here comes the toe. Ball on his hood. Gets the flick, and Catalysm comes in. He wasn't on the play, wasn't on the call, but smart heads-up play, realizing his teammate was about to be bumped, and comes in for the save.
And Scooby, if there's going to be a player who changes things for Team Liquid, in my opinion, I think it's going to be Oski. I mean, he came out the group stage. Hold on a second. Catalysm?
It was a bump. It was another bump.
What on earth
from German Amigos? Look at
deflection, too.
I mean, it's a nasty hop out of the corner. Catalysm reads it well. But the bumps for German Amigos have just been causing chaos for Team Liquid on the back line. And German Amigos up 2 goals. 60 seconds remain. Team Liquid need a quick one.
Need a quick one indeed. And I was just talking about how I think Oski is going to be the difference maker if we see Team Liquid get back into this game. I mean, he came out with the most goals per game out of groups with 1.31 per game, excuse me. And now I'm on his perspective, and I'm trying to see how he's rotating. He's so aggressive. He constantly will push down the other side, take a corner boost, try and starve out German Amigos, and that's not working. Here he is over-rotating past the ball. Now can't get a touch. He takes the midfield boost, and he's waiting, but no clearance coming his way as Acronic just opts to go for a solo play. This one is finally pushed across, and here it is for Team Liquid, the first goal.
And it takes all 3 members getting involved. Oski gets the big boost steal, looks for a bump, and rotates through, and just a great passing play to open things up. And there's life for Team Liquid.
Here we go. And that was such a good heads-up play from Oski. He was waiting for a clear, saw that it wasn't going to come out, and decided to go for a demo instead. That quick decision-making is what's necessary and might just get them back into this one. But with 7 seconds to go, might be too little, too late. A toe looking for a better 50-50. Acronic off the backboard, toxes up for the shot and denies it quickly and over the past defender. Nice little flick, good response, but is that enough, Scooby? I don't think so.
It's still up, no way.
Maybe this ball, do we hover all the way to the other side? Team Liquid, they can certainly do it, but German Amigos have other plans indeed, and they send us to match point.
And now it's match point, Turtle. Best of 7.
We have arrived.
German Amigos up 3 games to 1. And this is a shocker for a lot of people, as Team Liquid are going to take their time out, talk things over.
Yep.
And that's a perfect call. What else can you do other than talk about it? Communication gonna be key here for the young guns of Team Liquid.
I feel like the communication isn't there. Like I was talking about how I was pretty much for the second half of that game, I was only on Oski's perspective. I wanted to see how he was trying to make a difference, how he was trying to make an impact. Frequently, I would see him get so aggressive, rotate all the way down the other side, all the way down the other field. And he would be patient, Subi, and be waiting for these clears to come out that would never find him. He would just be stuck in no man's land. So for Oski, I think the key is actually to dial it back a little bit. Try and maybe take the midfield boost, but don't overextend too much. Help out with that transition because these clears aren't even coming to him. So he's essentially in no man's land half of the time. And I think that change in rotation could be a huge game plan, moving forward.
Or do you, if you're the coach, do you just say, hey, Oski, no rules for you this game.
We let him go even more crazy. He's already playing like that. The man is already unleashed, in my opinion. But I mean, if there's anything else he could unleash, I'm here for it.
You're right. I'm just trying to think and just throw anything out there. We're brainstorming right now because he's got 18 goals so far. And in between yesterday and today, he's been the offense for Team Liquid. But for Team Liquid, they've only scored 4 goals. Yeah. And they've been shut out in 2 games. So they've got to figure out something else. And again, Turtle, I know it can get repetitive, but the demos are available. The bumps are available for Team Liquid. Take the gloves off, play dirty, do whatever you can to just try and get a little bit of opening on the German Amigos net, because Team Liquid, like that, it's just those small windows that are going to be available. They're not giving you much, so you got to make them count.
Yeah, and that play where we saw the only goal in that previous game we just casted, Oski was going for a demo. He opted to not wait for a clear or try and get any playtime on the ball. He said, I'm just going to go for a demo, and that's what works for him. But we have returned from the timeout. We're back into it, and we'll see if that little break gives a little bit of some momentum back in favor of Team Liquid, as they do start out on the right foot with some close shots, but of course, as I say that, saved immediately and transitioned down the other side. Why do I even bother? Why do I even bother? It looks good. It looks like we're going to see a goal from Team Liquid, but no. One counterattack, one transition, and Tox gets 1 goal.
Oh, that's just unfortunate from Acronic as he kind of rattles that one in. And just like that, German Amigos strike first in game number 5.
Off the timeout, too.
Ay, ay, ay. You hate to see it. Unless you're a German Amigos fan, then you love it. But for Team Liquid, you got plenty of time to work with, yes. Yeah. But man, oh man, you need to get a quick one, because the longer this game goes, the more comfortable German Amigos are going to be. And we've seen when they're comfortable, they're brutal to get by.
That was almost a big mistake from Oski on the backboard. Found no touch to his name. Big demo from Ivan, however, will open up some space, but immediately challenged by Oski. Ball slipped out into the midfield. Good counterattack. And I mean, look at that transition. Ato is looking for Oski. I like it, but still the pass not too accurate. Maybe one, a Chronic. We've been waiting for some kind of highlight performance, some pop-off play by himself, and he finally comes up with one.
Oh, I would say highlight, hello, and I would say pop-off, hello. He gets that nasty angle out of the corner to tie this game up, and right on cue, Turtle. They needed a quick one. They found it off of the shoulders of a Chronic.
And that might be the boost in confidence that all 3 of them needed, understanding that, yes, we can pull through with these solo plays. We can convert, even if it's just one player alone, but Ivan still looking for demos. A Chronic by himself, another solo dribble. And yes, Oski is hunting, and that's much more immediate. Normally he would linger for the clear, but immediately is Oski looking for the demos, which is what I like to see. But Catalysm, here we go off the backboard. Tox. It looks like he had most of the net to shoot at, and he comes up accurate.
Well, the demo just booted a Chronic out of the picture, and I love this pass going all the way across the box to the left. The shot goes all the way to the right towards the post, and German Amigos immediately answer Team Liquid to put themselves back up by 1.
This always feels out of reach for Team Liquid. They get 1 goal, it's a solo play, there's a sign of life, but immediately rejected to turn back around for German Amigos. Booming clear, and we're about to approach halftime.
There we go.
Team Liquid getting the demos. That's what you like to see, Subi.
Love to see it. Slows them down just enough. And when you play at the speed of light, just those blinks are what matter. As a Chronic coming in, going to rotate out. Great communication from Team Liquid to keep this ball alive, and that's something you would question during their timeout was the communication, and it seems like they were listening, Turtle. Communication a factor there.
Yeah, I mean, look at this one. It was perfectly read from Catalysm, but we did have the setup in place from Team Liquid where one player was downfield already in the air. And we'll see. What does Acronic do with his first touch? He keeps it to himself, finds Oski. Threading the needle is Team Liquid, keeping pressure, applying it well. Now the question is, when will they find an opening on the net?
Oh, great pass, but a little bit too slow. And behind Oski, the idea was there. Just the way that pass came out.
Oski's looking for a demo. Oski can demo him. Oh, Ivan. I mean, he must have known and recognized that a demo was going to come out. He's rotating back immediately, Subi.
Way to have your head on a swivel. Gotta be aware of your surroundings at all times as Tox gets Chronic to bite on that one. Put on the big lure on the fish stick and threw that one across as this one going down, denied by Oski. And we've got 90 seconds to go here. Game number 5. And Team Liquid still down 1.
You see how German Amigos are reading this play in the midfield. Catalysm crashes in. They know where Team Liquid want to move the ball. And if it's a solo play, it's even better. Almost slipped through the defense, but we do have Catalysm back on defense. Last man back, holding strong. Ivan opts to not go for that challenge, and we've got Team Liquid hunting. They can smell the goal, but when will it present itself?
Oh. Soft shot denied by Ivan. 60 seconds to go here in game number 5 as Team Liquid realized every push matters at this point. Every touch on the ball so important. Everything so crucial here as German Amigos keeping Team Liquid at bay once again, and that has been the headline of this series. As Acronic keeps that one alive, Tox gonna push it all the way back, and 30 seconds to go here. Team Liquid have to reset.
All right, this could be the transition needed for Team Liquid. It looks like they're gonna have to score on this final transition. I mean, if they can get this ball downfield, there might be an opportunity, a nice pinch attempt, but immediately given back to Catalysm. All players from Team Liquid have pushed forward, desperate for this goal to tie things up. Their tournament life on the line, and that's they will keep it alive. This is it, the one transition they need to find a goal, Subi.
Well, it's up. Tox, let's see what he does with this. He's gonna go towards the net. Chronic keeps it alive. Ivan there, and this one gonna be too far forward. And German Amigos take down Team Liquid 4-1 and move themselves on in the Winter Open.
Even after the timeout was called for Team Liquid, this game started with German Amigos picking up right where it left off, regardless of the break, regardless of the pause. Determined, consistent, and able to punish on those transitions. German Amigos, they looked unshakable. You couldn't get anything past them. You couldn't make them stress. No amount of pressure was going to break through that defense.
I'm just... my jaw is hitting the floor right now as we were talking. I think Team Liquid's going to take this. I think that... German Amigos just put everyone's prediction to rest. Just absolutely impressive performance from German Amigos.
We were always looking for how Team Liquid were going to change things up, what they were going to do to improve. And eventually, it looked like they had it, but unfortunately they don't. And I think that's going to do it for myself and Subi. But stick around because we've got G1 up against K-Corp right after this quick break.